So we're at the 10th. So we've got J6 today, J7 tomorrow. They're kind of the same thing, so we're 2 days there. Friday, we're just going to do like a practice type day. Like we've got couple of different ideas going on, all basically centering around possibly working in partners with on cards. Like kind of a quick solve, but not a quick solve. And then next week is your test, but you also have a formative next week, Tuesday. So it's a double check week. One formative, one summative of next week. Okay? And then we jump into Unit K, which is exponents. And then after Unit K of exponents, then we have Unit L, which is systems of equations. So 2 lines on one graph. Okay? All right? Here we go. So you should have had some time now to do the 4 warm-ups, getting them in y equals mx plus b form. Ken, are you going to be offended if I mix it up today? Totally fine with it? Awesome sauce. Okay? We'll start in the nexus. Wait, we're going to start with you. We're going to start in the center today instead of starting with you. Notice all the time I'm going to start over there. And then I keep saying, why do I always do this? No, we're going to start in the nexus. We're going to start at the origin. Wyatt, you are at the origin of the classroom right now. Okay? What did you come up with for a equation of this first line? X equals 2, because it's a vertical line, so that's going to be an undefined slope, right? So that's a box over here. Yep. So vertical line, undefined slope, means it's an x-only equation, and so then it's x equals 2. I would concur. Follow-up question, Wyatt. Are we going forward or are we going backwards?
We'll go backwards.
Backwards? Ash, we're up to you for number 2. Then, what did you come up with for a y-intercept? 0, -1, which means your b is no b. -1. If your b value is -1. And what did you come up with for your slope, which is what you just gave me? 1/1. Would you be offended if I just wrote that as just 1? You okay with that? Okay, good. Chloe, do we have an M? Do we have a B? Yeah? Can you give me a y equals mx plus b? Now, did you write it like that, or did you actually put the 1 in there like this? Put the 1 in there? That's fine. Both mean the same thing, right? Only thing I forgot. Follow-up question, Chloe. Are we going left or are we going right? We're going to go left. Your left or my left? We're going to Will? Okay. Will, we're up to you. Number 3. Do we have an M?
Yeah.
Yes? Do we have an X? What's our X?
Yeah.
What's our Y?
Yeah.
Did you go y equals mx plus b twice? No?
What? No, what do you mean by that?
Well, because don't you have to start with a y equals mx plus b?
Oh, no, I just realized that -2 was already just the
Okay, that's fine. That works. That if you cracked that code, that's great. Okay. For everybody else, if you haven't cracked that code yet, then we've got this. You should have this set up somewhere along, right off the start. So we should have that right off the start. And then 3 times 0 is 0. So then we get -2 equals 0 plus b 0 plus b is just b, so we get negative 2 is equal to b. Okay? Alright? Watch how it works you. Do we have an m? Do we have a b? We don't? And is that what we just found? Yeah, okay, so what's my y equals mx plus b? Minus, which, 3x minus what? 2. Tell me what we got. Is what? Is y? Okay. What else we got? Times 8. That's our x. And you said plus b. Okay. 1/2 times 8. So remember, we can always break that out. We can go 1/2 times 8, and we can put the 8 over 1, right? We multiply across, right? 1 times 8 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay? Sure. So I want to get b by itself, right? Okay. So what is happening between the b and the 4? Is it adding, subtracting, multiplying? It's adding, right? And the 4 is positive, right? So we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. Yeah. Is that the opposite? Yeah. Yeah. Cross that out like that. Yeah. 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 2 minus. That would be minus negative. They're both negative, so the sign's got to stay the same, right? I'm at 2, and I got to go down 4, right? So negative 6. Negative 6. I would have had to use your, remember they always used to be here, your roller. You really, where's you? Do we have an m? Do we have a b? Can you give me the y equals mx plus b? Okay. Good to go on those 4. Any questions on those 4? No? None? 0, zilch, nada? I should probably take a pause here and figure out who's not here. It's a Wednesday morning. Today, what we're going to do, so we found equations of lines from graphs. We did that, way back last week, Tuesday, and yeah, we did that last week, Tuesday. Okay. We found equations of lines given certain conditions, like given the slope and a point. We did that last week, Wednesday, last week, Thursday. And then we kind of combined all that stuff into this past Monday. We combined those 2 topics. The last way to go about finding equations from graphs is from a table. Okay? So we're going to find equations from a graph from a table. Now, I remind you from the last unit that we had that the rate of change was equal to, does anybody remember this delta y over delta x concept we talked about in unit, would have been unit H, the last unit that we had, right? We figured out the change in our y's and divided it by the change in our x, right? Right? Does anybody remember what we also called it? We already got that one. Yeah. We called it the what? We called it the slope. Yeah, because the slope is the rate of change. Okay? So we also called it the slope. So we have to find off of our table, we can pick any two lines there, okay? And we figure out what the rate of change is. So, Edwin, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so we got line 1, line 2, line 3, and line 4, right? Pick me two numbers between 1 and 4. Like any two numbers. 1 and 4. 1 and 4. Okay, Edwin picked 1 and 4. So we're going to find the rate of change here by looking at those two. What is the change from -6 to +3? Kiana, word to you. If I'm going to go from -6 to +3, what's my change? Do I add or subtract? Six would get me to 0, right? And then I gotta go how many more? 3 more, right? 6 plus 3. 9, right? Okay. So that's a +9. Okay. Then we gotta come over here and we gotta go from -1 to +2. Dom, -1 to +2. Adding or subtracting? +3? Okay. So then my slope is going to be the change in y over the change in x, which is going to be +9 was my change in y, +3 was my change in x. Okay? Stephanie, do I like 9 over 3? What do I like instead? What is 9 divided by 3? Just 3, right? So we could call this just +3. Right? Okay? Now, here's the kicker, Austin. We have 4 points on our line, right? And we have a slope of our line. So we get to pick any line here, and that's our x value and our y value for y equals mx plus b. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, or 4, which one do you want to choose? 3, okay? So you're going to go with, this is going to be your x value, and this is going to be your y value, right? Okay? So now, let me scroll down just a little bit. We're going to use y equals mx plus b, with my y value being 0, my m value being 3, my x value being 1, and plus b. Right? Okay. Michelle, 3 times 1. 3. And how would you go about solving that for b? Subtract 3 from both sides? And you get negative 3 is equal to b. Agree? Love it. Dylan, now, the big question for you. Do I have an m? In blue, right? 3. Do I have a b? It's negative 3 in green, right? So can you give me the y equals mx plus b for this problem? So can I just write minus 3? Just minus. Because we could write plus negative, but that's just bad times. We're good maths. Right? Now, does it make sense, Cora, to be selective in your pickings of things? Yeah? So but it doesn't matter what your pickings have to be, would be my follow-up question to that. No, it doesn't matter. Your pickings doesn't matter, but sometimes the way you go about picking them makes it a little easier. Here, Edwin chose the first and the last one. Totally fine. We got the right answer. We would have gotten that same answer if we would have picked 2 right in a row. We just wouldn't have had to do as much math. So yeah, we can do that. Okay? So 1 through 4, pick me which point we want to use to find our slope. Which 2 points? 2 and 3? Love it. Okay? So we're going to go from here to here. And we're going to go from here to here. Okay. To go from 0 to negative 1, what do I have to add or subtract? Subtract 1. So that would be like minus 1, right? Okay. To go from 0 to 2, what do I have to add or subtract? Add 2, right? Okay. So then my slope is going to be the change in y over the change in x. Do I like the fraction negative 1 over positive 2? Give you another chance. Do I like this fraction right here? Why not? Which is the same thing as what I got written right there, right? Yeah. So you're saying it's just this? Just take away that positive sign? Yeah. I'm cool with that. Okay. All right. Wyatt, we have come back to the nexus. What point would you like to use? 1, 2, 3, or 4? 2 is good? Oh, 2 is great. Why is 2 great? Why, Will? So this point right here is our y-intercept. Because the x is 0, right? Okay? So, Ash, if that is my y-intercept, that line, 0, 0, just like over here, this line, 0, negative 3 would have been my y-intercept. What is my b value? 0 in this case, right? Because it's the y part of the y-intercept. Yep. Okay. So then this would be y equals negative 1/2 x. Do I have to write, Chloe, the plus 0? No, we can just leave it like that. No. Now, if you didn't see that, and you went y equals mx plus b, and then you went 0 equals negative 1/2 times 0 plus b, you would have gotten 0 equals 0 plus b. So therefore, b is 0. You would have gotten the same thing. Okay? Right? Picking your points is always good. Alright? You try now numbers 7, 8, and 9. 7, 8, and 9. Yep, I just got 9 on the next page. Yep. 7, 8, and 9, please. Did you answer a question for last time? Who was last to answer a question? I think it was you, wasn't it? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. We'll go the other way this time. We're gonna mix it up. We're gonna mix up the mix up. Yeah. Okay. Austin, which 2 points did you choose for picking your changing y over changing x? Which one? The bottom one? And then which one? 1, 2, or 3? Did you do the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought going back that I remember you doing the bottom and the top, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you went to go from 6 to 0. What did you get for a change there?
So I went from 6
to 2? Okay, that's fine. 6 to 2. What did you get for a change there? -4, I like that. To go from -1 then to +3, what did you get for a change there? +4. Like that too. So then my slope would be which would just be -1. Now, again, you could have chosen any 2 points in the table there, but in the end, when we're standing right here now, we would all have the same slope, no matter which 2 points you chose. Okay? We would all still have the same slope. Okay? All right? Michelle, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Which point do you want to choose? So the fourth one? Okay. So in that fourth one, the 5 is going to be the x. And the 0 is going to be the y. Okay. So then we've got 0 equals, we're filling in our y equals mx plus b. Our slope we said was -1. Our x you just told me was 5, and we need to find our b. Right? 5, 0 is not the y-intercept because it's not 0, something. So we can't use 5 as our y-intercept. -1 times 5, Michelle. -5. Okay. And how am I going to solve that? Add 5 to both sides? Now, it just so happened to work out for us that 5 was our b2, but that only happened because our slope was -1. If our slope would have been anything different, it wouldn't have been +5. Dylan, do we have an m? What is it? What is our m? -1. Do we have a b? What is it? dy equals mx plus b. Plus 5. Yep. John, which 2 points did you choose in number, I think it's 8, number 8. So you went first and third, here to there, and here to there. Right? Change and red change. Nothing. So how do we say nothing in that? 0. We went plus 0 there. Yep. Green change. Adding or subtracting? Adding, yep, so plus 2. Okay. So my slope then is going to be 0 over 2. 0 divided by 2. Just 0. Yep, exactly. Just 0. Done. Do you want to use the shortcut, or do you want to use y equals mx plus b? You tell me. You got to know the shortcut if we're going to use the shortcut. Do you know the shortcut? What is the shortcut then? What's my answer going to be here? So that means what's my final answer going to be? Y equals, no. Uh-oh, we got to do it the long way then. That's fine. We're okay with that. Y equals mx plus b. Which point do you want to choose now? 1, 2, 3, or 4? 4? Okay. So then that's going to tell me that 3 is my y, 2 is my x, 3 equals 0 times 2 plus b, right? 0 times 2, 0. 0 plus b, b, right? So 3 is my b, right? Right? Okay. Let's put those into y equals mx plus b again. Give it to me. Keep going. So it would be y equals 0, because that's our slope, right? X plus 3. Do I like that as an equation? What do I like instead? Just y equals 3. Now, you want to know the shortcut? It's right over here. When your slope is 0, which we had right from the start, right? Then it's just y equals whatever your b is. Now, in this case, the b could have been found right there because that line, the second line, is not what you said though. But then you chose the fourth point. Stephanie, which 2 points did you choose for number 9? 2 and 3? To go from 1 to 2 is a plus 1. To go from negative 2 to 0 is a plus 2. Okay? Which means then that our slope is going to be 1 plus 1 over plus 2. Did you get a slope of positive 1/2? Yes? Love it. Ureli, we're going to skip all the way over to you. Which point do you want to use, or do we have a special point? You want to use point the second one down? Okay, that's fine for me. So then that would be, this would be my x, this would be my y, correct? Okay. Y equals mx plus b has me at 1 equals 1/2 times -2 plus b. 1/2 times -2. I'll break it up for you if you want. Over -2 over 2. -2 divided by +2. What kind of one? -1, because it's negative divided by a positive. Okay? Edwin, how am I going to solve 1 equals -1 plus b? How do I solve that for you? How am I going to move it?
For one. Yeah.
Yep. How am I going to move that to the other side? Add it, right? Right? Add 1. 1 plus 1, Edwin. 1 plus 1 is? 1 plus 1. 2. Yep. If you got 1 pencil and I give you another pencil, you got 2 pencils. Which, by the way, I borrowed 2 pencils. I better get my 2 pencils back. I gotta get back to Mr. Markworth. Will, we got an M?
Yeah.
We got a B?
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Y equals 1/2 x plus 2.
Love it. Good time stuff. Huh? So, I'm going to give you the remaining time here now to work on the J6 homework. If you have J5 homework done, which you should have it done because most of you didn't have stuff to do, I just did. Most of you actually had something to do yesterday, so I understand it's not done because most of you guys were testing all of the days or all of the mornings. Okay? Working.